Kyle Chandler in talks to star in Lantern's DC series, Lantern's Aaron Pierre from Rebel Ridge, and Stephen James from Race in runnings for Jon Stewart role in HBO DC series. And like I said earlier, we're talking about everything is shaping up, man. More shaping up in the DCU with the Lanterns, man. So much to talk about. First, well, not just one Lantern. First, Elliot, we got to talk about Mr. Hal Jordan, okay? I think you can say this is Hal Jordan right here. But this is for the next topic. This is coming from Deadline as well. Kyle Chandler in talks to star in Lantern's DC series. Oh my goodness gracious. We know Kyle Chandler. I know that guy. Elliot knows that guy. I'm pretty sure you know that guy as well. Deadline has the exclusive. Emmy winner Kyle Chandler is in negotiations to star in Lantern's HBO's high-profile series based on the Green Lantern's DC comic sources Deadline. No one is commenting, but I hear Chandler is poised to play Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern character that was played by Ryan Reynolds in 2011. Now, if we look at him on IMDb right here, Elliot, this is the gentleman. I recognize him. Super 8, Manchester by the Sea, Argo. I mean, I see him in a lot of stuff. Godzilla vs. Kong. He's a good actor, man. I like him. I've never seen him do anything that I didn't like or say to myself, you know, he sucks. He sucks. So, I mean, I'm cool with the casting. I'm not too thrilled with the direction they're going as far as the story of him being a mentor to a Jon Stewart, which we'll get into if that's true or not. But at least the look, you know, I'm cool with, because it's a decent actor. How are you feeling about Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, possibly?
Yeah, no, I think this is another example of how DC, now of course we talked, I think last time I was on, we talked about the Josh Brolin's, Matthew McConaughey's, Ewan McGregor's, Timothy Olyphant, and a couple other names were in the mix. And, you know, some of those stand out. Some of those are household names, but not all of them are like as star-studded as you would maybe think to bring, you know, replace, you know, following up Ryan Reynolds, who we know is a megastar in his own right. So this just goes to show me, whether it's David Cornsweet as Superman, Millie Alcock as Supergirl, and now Kyle Chandler as potentially Hal Jordan, they're picking what seems to be the best actors for the role. They're not going for the big name, the flashy name. They're not going for the, you know, a Brad Pitt or, you know, so on and so forth. They're going for people that they think will fit the role perfectly. You know, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, as another example. It's like they're not going for the flashy names. They're going for actors they feel as though are great actors that can embody the character. So I am, again, I know there's, you know, mixed feelings about, you know, like you just mentioned, the age of Hal Jordan, how we're going. We don't see him in his prime, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, we get to take the good with the bad. We get to spend more time with Jon Stewart, which I know we'll talk about next. So I think Kyle is a fantastic director. I think you alluded to it earlier that I have not seen a role that he has not been consistent in, has been good in. I think his role in Friday Night Lights speaks to like the mentor that he can play to Jon Stewart as the coach in that show. So I think this is just another example of how James Gunn is piecing together his universe with solid actors, reliable actors, consistent actors, and he's not just going for the name. He wants the character to be the driving force, and then you fall in love with the actors playing the characters, versus sometimes it's the opposite. You know, hiring a Jared Leto to play Morbius because of the name might not be the best fit, but hey, Jared can bring people to the theaters. Where James Gunn is like, no, we're gonna bring people into these characters, fall in love with these characters, and fall in love with the actors playing the characters at the same time. So, you know, I'm excited, man. I think this is a good fit.
Right on. Real quick, though, since you brought up Jared Leto, would he have been a good Dr. Doom for you?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
And
Dr. No.
No. Okay. And would you have rather had Kyle Chandler or Chris Pine as Green Lantern? And would you still pick your other picks as well? Is Kyle Chandler over your Matthew McConaughey, your Josh Brolin, your John Hamm, your Chris Pine? No.
I like Chris Pine a lot, but based on the description of what they're trying to do with Hal Jordan being the veteran, grizzled character that he is, he's seen his battles and wars, and I think Kyle fits more of that kind of characteristics more so than like a Chris Pine, especially going back to this being a true detective vibe to the show. Kyle Chandler's been in shows like Bloodline and done roles that are a little bit more grittier. I don't see Chris Pine, not saying he can't do it, but I don't see Chris Pine really dive into a more older veteran type of, and plus he's like, I think he's like 15 years younger than Kyle Chandler. So just from the age level, I think Kyle brings more of that statesmanship and that older grizzled personality to the character more so than Chris Pine and all the others too. Like Matthew McConaughey probably would have, he's already did the True Detective thing already. Literally, he played in that show, so it would have been too repetitive there. So I think this is a good fit, man. Just the more and more I'm thinking about it and what they're going for, I think Kyle Chandler is the perfect fit.
Well, there you have it, guys. Kyle Chandler is in negotiations for Hal Jordan. Are you happy with this or not? Let us know, or would you want somebody else? Link to that is in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure. But tying into this, Elliot, with Lanterns, we have this from Deadline as well. Lanterns, Aaron Pierre from Rebel Ridge and Stephen James from Race in runnings for Jon Stewart role in HBO DC series. Man, so you guys know these two right here. Aaron Pierre, this guy right here. I think that he was in the Blade movie, but left or is no longer part of the production. So that's
huge L for Marvel.
Yeah, that's so y'all taking too long. I'm going to DC. God damn it! Basically, that's what he said. But upcoming films: Poltergeist, Mufasa, The Lion King, and The Morning Show. Recently, he was in Rebel Ridge. Me and Elliot both covered that on our channels. Good movie for the most part. He was also in Old as mid-sized sedan and Ingenious. I did not see him as Malcolm X. But these are all the other titles that he was a part of. We also have this gentleman right here, Stephen James. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say, Elliot. Stephen James was in Race as Jesse Owens. If Beale Street Could Talk, this movie was off the chain. Selma and 21 Bridges, that movie is underrated. Both of these gentlemen can act, in my opinion, Elliot. They both can act. The rumor mill went into overdrive this week as a lengthy search for an actor to play Jon Stewart is in final negotiations. Also, as well as Damson Idris, right here from Snowfall, which I covered the show, which was a great show. Y'all can read the article, link in the description. Elliot,
man.
I like all three of these actors. I think they're all talented. And I have to preface this by saying, because some people, a little sensitive, emotional out there, they feel that if you don't like an actor, actress in a certain role, that you don't like that actor or actress. Like, no, I can think this is the most talented person in the world, but they may not fit for this particular role. Someone, I mean, if you say something like, Halle Bailey, I don't think she's good for this role. Oh, you're a Halle Bailey hater. You're a Beyonce hater. Anyway. I like all three of these. I cannot see Damson Idris as Jon Stewart. And I cannot, and I don't want Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart. I think he would do a good job. I think he would fit the role quite well, but I just don't want that. If I had to pick between these three right here, I want Stephen James. I think he's really capable. He'll be able to get in the weight room and all of that stuff, or get the physique right. But another reason is I just want a darker skinned guy to be Jon Stewart, to be honest with you. I just, even if it's from the simple fact that that's what I'm used to seeing on the cartoon, on the comic page or whatever, that's just what I want. Now, Damson Idris is even darker, but I just don't see him as Green Lantern. But where are you at on this, man? Now, also let me also throw in here. If I had to pick anybody, of course it's gonna be my guy. It's gonna be my guy Aldous Hodge all the way. That's my number one right there. But how you feeling about this casting, man? Damson Idris, Stephen James, Aldous Hodge, Aaron Pierre. Where you at, sir, on this?
Like you, B, I think they're all three great choices, and it's just wonderful to be able to know that there are, some opportunities for Black actors to have these big time roles, and it seems like again, Jon Stewart will be the main Green Lantern in the DCU, which is awesome to see. For me, I'm with you with Idris, great actor. I haven't dove into the Snowfall world, but I heard from you and others that it's just a great show, and it really showcased him as a great actor. But I think from a physicality standpoint, like you say, you can beef up, but I just think like from I don't know, just presence and height, I don't really see Idris portraying Jon Stewart, but hey, you could be proven wrong. And then Stephen James, I'm right there with you. Bill Street can talk, phenomenal actor. And I could see him pulling off the role as well. But for my personal pick, and I totally understand the colorism in Hollywood with light skinned actors getting more opportunities than darker skinned actors, and there's a lot of proof in that camp that happens more times than not. But I just feel like Aaron just, to me, the way I embody or envision, Jon Stewart as the military man, no nonsense, but having a little bit of levity and some charm and personality, and just the physicality of Aaron Pierre, especially what we saw him do in Rebel Ridge. I just think that he physically looks the part, to me, in my mind. And I just feel like if we're looking at matching him up with a Kyle Chandler, just based on, again, Rebel Ridge and how he was able to go toe-to-toe with Don Johnson and kind of that, that energy they were getting off each other. I could see Kyle Chandler and Aaron just really bouncing off each other really well. And even tossing that into David Cornsweet and, the other people that are going to fill out the roles. So I personally, out of those three, I would like Aaron Pierre, but I think one of my top choices, like you mentioned, Aldis is up there, and also Trevante Rhodes is up there for me too, as some two contestants. So if anything has been proven to us in the last week, as Kyle Chandler was on nobody's list, so we might not even have, the name that that they have in mind might not even be someone we looked at. But out of those three, I'm going with Aaron Pierre. Just personally, I just think he just embodies the character from a physicality standpoint and also acting standpoint. I think they're all three great actors, but I just like what Aaron brings to his roles more so than the other two. But whoever they do pick, if it is those three, I think we're going to be in for a pretty good surprise with Jon Stewart finally getting his justice on the big screen.
This is true, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are they kind of coming out? I know they're coming out with an HBO series, but are they also coming out with a movie as well? And like kind of around the same time.
Based on James Gunn's slate of monsters, Gods and Monsters, there wasn't a movie on the slate for Green Lantern, but I would assume that they'll probably get their own movie, whether it's a team up or solo Jon Stewart. But as of right now, it's just a series. Was the only thing that was slated on his that phase 1.
Got you. I think they should do it. Because the Green Lanterns are so effing huge. You have two people,
its own universe.
You have, it's so big that you have multiple human beings from Earth that are Green Lanterns. So I was thinking maybe the show could concentrate more on the Green Lantern Corps, across the galaxy. And then the movies focus more on Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and what's going on Earth. And they both kind of just intertwine. That's not, like a just crazy idea, but
honestly, I think they will. I think it's going to be them, kind of like a cop procedural. Like they'll go on the case, but then when you're done with the case, you can go back to space and share your notes with, other lanterns. So I think we're going to see, probably, Nathan Fillion's character. We might see Jessica Cruz. We might see other lanterns kind of popping in and out of the series. I think the series is going to be a lot bigger than what people, because I know they pitch it as True Detective, and that is a very character driven kind of focus on the two detectives in the show, and in some cases 3 detectives. But I think this is going to be a much bigger show than what they're pitching with the True Detective angle. Like I think we're going to be galactically in space, but also earthbound. So I think it's going to be a really big show.
Wonderful. I love it. Have you seen Green Lantern Emerald Knights, the DC movie that came out like over 15 years ago?
I don't think I think that's on the watch list still, but I think that's on the watch list.
It's incredible. What I like about it is it's like 4 or 5 different short stories of different, just different events that's happened in the Green Lantern history. The first one is like the true origin of the Green Lanterns, and it shows like the first ring bearer and how he bared the ring. It was pretty nice.
Scott, what was his name? Scott. I can't think of his last name, but yeah,
I don't remember the name, but it was just badass. And I was just thinking, like, what if the show did that? Like, an episode or two went back in the beginning of time, blah blah. But anyway, Kyle Chandler is Green Lantern, Aaron Pierre or Stephen James. Guys, link is in the description. Let us know. Are you happy with this casting? Or are you not? What is your wish list? What do you want to go down in the DCU as far as the Lanterns are concerned? You want a movie? You want a TV show? You want both? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. We are both dying to know.
Here comes a new challenger!
Right as we're wrapping up, this guy wants to pop in. Here we go, guys. Coming to the stage. It's Mr. E-Man with E-Man's Movie Reviews. What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I figured I'd come in real quick. Let's get started. What we gonna talk about?
Kyle Chandler is Green Lantern, maybe, and Aaron Pierre, Stephen James, and Damson Idris.
No, I like the Damson Idris. The Damson Idris would have been a great pick if they have to go young. I don't like the fact that they're making John Stewart young. I don't like. So I don't like the fact that they're going young. But if they do, Damson will be fine. But I'm also not a fan of Aaron Pierre. I think he is fantastic as an actor. I don't think he's a good fit for this role. I'm not a fan of lightening up traditionally darker skinned Black characters because we don't have enough of them. And I don't like it. It's just like with the whole Halle Berry Storm thing. Love me some Halle. She did not need to be in that role. Just like what's the old girl from Acolyte, Amanda Steinberg. Yeah. She was supposed to be Shuri, and she turned it down because she was like, "Nah, I'm light. That should go to a dark sister." And we got Letitia Wright. So I'm like, nah, man. Like Jon Stewart's historically in every portrayal is a dark skinned brother. We don't need the Michael Ealy light skin with the different color eyes brother coming in to play that role. No, thank you. No shade to the man. He's a great actor. Rebel Ridge was great. But just, come on now. We can get a dark brother. And Stephen James, no thanks.